Hi everyone. So this is the next unit we are going to see, which is called as nano devices. So this is a very useful topic which we are dealing with nano materials. So we are going to see why we need this kind of material and what is the use of this nano devices and how it is working. So all those things we are going to introduce with this unit. So there are three things in this unit. So which is the first one is the something called as quantum dot, which is here. And the second thing, with this quantum dot, what we are going to do. So we are going to make a devices with this quantum dot. So that's the second thing. And third thing we are going to see, which is called as nanomaterials or nanotubes. So these are the main topics we are going to cover in this unit. So in today's lifestyle, we are using a lot of computer and mobile and all those technological oriented devices we are using. So which is fabricated with only the nano devices. That is, you all know that all the processor are made up of a nano material or nano devices. Whatever the processor you are using, like computer, cell phones, whatever you are using, that is made with this nano devices only. The one of those main devices, transistor. So that's the main thing. And if you see before 10 to 15 years, when the computer was introduced, the transistor has been used, but there will be many transistors. So in those devices, transistor will be used as a switching device. So one will be called as a on state and 0 will be called as a off state. But the usage of electron to switch on the transistor and switch it off is much high. So to transport those electrons, we need a lot of energy spent to move those transistors. So for making a 1 bit, we need a lot of energy, and by that energy, lot of heat has been reduced, and the efficiency is also very low, and the speed or the amount of energy transfer per second, which is very low. So we are in need for a quick transfer of data and usage of low energy. So we are in that need. So by using a small amount of energy, we need to complete all those tasks, and we should be fabricate a device which uses less number of electrons and less amount of energy. So this is the target. And there is one law which is called as Moore's law, which states that when the year increases, the usage of transistor, that is usage of number of transistor will also increases proportionally. That's the law states. So currently the Intel processor using 17 million transistor per millimeter square of surface. So 1 millimeter square means you all know. So this is actually half a centimeter. So 1 millimeter, in the sense this is 1 millimeter. So this will be 1 millimeter approximately. So in those area, 17 million transistor has been used in 1 millimeter. So which is very high. This is impossible without reducing the size of the material. So we are in need to reduce the size of the material so that the efficiency will also increase. So this is the main target. And also I stated in the previous topic, while teaching LED, even though the red and green laser has been achieved, blue is difficult to achieve. So we are going to see the reason why blue is that much difficult, even though they had reached red and green. So these are all the things we are going to cover, and this topic is density of states comparison. That is, you already derived the density of states for a bulk material in the unit 1. So this is the equation, pi by 2 atom by h square whole power 3 by 2 e power half, so which you call it as z of e. I think you all remember this density of state equation. So this is applicable only for the bulk material. Bulk material in the sense that 10 power minus 6 and even 10 power minus 7 are all we classify, or more than 10 power minus 6, that is 10 power minus 3, minus 2, that is centimeter, millimeter. Millimeter is 10 power minus 3. So even up to 10 power minus 7, we call that as a bulk material. But when it is reduced further and you are making it to a nano, that is like we had classified it as bulk, quantum well, quantum wire and quantum dot. So quantum well is nothing but we are making a material into a thin sheet. So here we are going to cover only a semiconducting material. That is, we are not covering here that is nano devices is not applicable here for the conductor or insulator. So we are strictly talking only about the semiconductors. So semiconductors in a bigger volume, that is in 10 power millimeter cube or 10 power minus 7 meter cube. So those are all bulk materials. So less than 10 power minus 7, so we are leading it to a thin sheets like in the range of 10 power minus 9, but still we are under, that is we are under 10 power minus 9 meters, but below 100 nanometers. So below 100 nanometers we call it as a nano material. So quantum well is a kind of nano material. So it will be below 100 nanometer. So we will make it as a thin sheet, and then even we are reducing it to 30 or 40 or less than 30. So less than 30 nanometers, but greater than 10 nanometers. So we call it as a quantum wire. So in quantum wire there will be a only certain number of electron, that is atoms, only 50 to 60 atom will be present. For example, 60 atoms. So here there will be 100 to 200 atoms. So less than 100 atoms. So like 80 atom, 90 atoms. So which you call it as a quantum well. So we will make it as a very, very thin sheet. Even it will not be visible that much. So here with this 50 to 60 few atoms, we are making it a wire, it as a wire. And less than 10 nanometer, we call it as a quantum dot. So it will be less than 10 nanometer. And even lesser we will make. So there will be, strictly speaking, there will be only 2 to 8 atom approximately stick together to make a quantum dot. So what happens if you reduce this kind of material thickness, and what is happening inside? So that's what we are going to cover in this. So while coming to the bulk material, you all know what is the density of state. So this is the density of state function, so which is proportional to root of e, that is e power of. So density of state function is proportional to e power of. That is, when the energy increases, density of state will also increases, but in the square root curve. So what is density of states? Number of available energy state for electron to occupy per unit volume of the material. That's the definition for density of states. So number of available energy states, or you can calculate number of electron can occupy per unit volume. So for this bulk material, there will be many number of electron can occupy. So as there is many number of energy level. So there are lot of energy level, so that lot of electron can occupy. So if you reduce it to this much of amount, so that this is the density function which will become a constant now. We call this as a step function. So which means now you had even reduced the energy levels for electron to occupy. You are reducing further. So only few electrons can occupy, but still this is bigger. So this is the function of those. So you will derive the density function with the sphere. You all remember, I think, for a bulk material in the unit 1. Likewise, for this quantum well, we will take a circle instead of sphere, as the movement is restricted to x and y only. So this is called as degrees of freedom. So here movement is x, y and z, you all know. We that's why we used a sphere. And here only x and y is possible, no z axis. So the degrees of freedom, that is movement of electron, is restricted to x axis or y axis, not in this way. So which is the degrees of freedom is 2. 2 means only in 2 ways it can move. So 3 means 3 ways it can move, x, y and z. So 2 means only 2 ways it can move. Here if you see, only 1 is the degrees of freedom, that is it can move only in a straight line. It cannot move in this way or it cannot move in this way. So it can only move in this way. So which is the degrees of freedom is 1. And the density function here is 1 by root of e. So you can see the curve. So there will be a peak, then there is a drop. There is a peak, then there is a drop. So likewise, this curve is drawn with this function only. And like this is a step function. There is a peak, then constant. There is a peak, then constant, as this is a constant. Okay. And finally coming to the topic, which is quantum dot. In quantum dot, the degrees of freedom is 0. That is, electron can only present here. It cannot move in x-axis or in the y-axis or not even in the z-axis. So it will not move actually. So it will present, or you will make it as a rest. So it will just be present here only and nowhere else. It cannot move here or here or here, nothing. It cannot move in any of the part. It only present in the given place. This is quantum dot. So we are restricted the motion of the electron, and so that we are literally controlling each electron movement with this quantum dot. And the function is called as delta function. Delta function means there will be 0 before and after, but at certain energy level there is a peak, which is known as delta function. And this is called as discrete function. So you all know that when coming to the quantum mechanics, the energy levels are always discrete. So this is the discrete energy level. So the number of available energy state for a given energy level is constant. That's it. There is no other movement. So it reaches here, which means this many energy level can occupy in this electron. Whereas if you see the bulk material, it is very continuous. Here also it is continuous. There is no gap in between. It is continuous. But here there is a gap in between, which is discrete. So this many energy level and no other than that. So that's the meaning of this delta function, and this is the quantum dot, which uses only the size is less than 10 nanometer, and the number of atom they use is 2 to 8 atoms. That's it. Okay. And for this quantum wire, we will use a line for deriving this density function. So here we are not using anything, it's just a delta function. That's it. Okay, so this is all about the density of state comparison, starting from the bigger material to a lowest of the material. So we will use this quantum dot to make a laser diode and to make a transistor. That's what the aim of this entire unit. So we will devise a quantum dot laser, then single electron transistor. How we will use the single electron to make a transistor. So that is with the usage of this quantum dot only. That's why we are seeing what is meant by quantum dot and how the energy will be. So this is also called as quantum confinement. That is, electron can be trapped in this quantum dot literally. So it cannot move randomly anywhere, as there is the degrees of freedom is 0. It cannot move anywhere. It only be present in the given energy level. So this is also known as quantum confinement. Okay. So due to this reduction of size or dimension or the degrees of freedom, what is the application we can get? That's the next thing we are going to see. So this is a picture which you are seeing is the normal semiconductor, which having a conduction band, valence band and the band gap. So if you see the band gap, it ranges by 1.4 for gallium arsenide. So 1.4 electron volt. So you already saw the laser diode where the band gap is 1.4 electron volt. But for the energy blue, you need 2.75 electron volt, 2.7 electron volt to produce blue color light. But whereas this 1.4 electron volt, which produces only the infrared light. So that's why the laser diode we had saw before is the output which give only with the infrared and not in the any other range. But whereas if you reduce the size of the material, the energy level will also get splitted up. So if there is a band gap which is low, it have a continuous energy level. Whereas if the size has been reduced, you can see the split between the energy level. That is, if one atom means one energy level. So if there is number of atoms, number of energy levels will be there. So when you are reducing it from bulk material, so this you call it as a bulk material continuous energy level. While you going to the quantum well, the energy level gets splitted up in a discrete way. So the number of energy level is also many number of energy level or many number of states. So in this each state, electron can occupy. 2 electrons can occupy. That's the meaning of this state. So 2 electron can occupy. So once you reducing the size of the material, the number of energy level will also get reduced. You can see it. Once the number of energy level get reduced, the band gap will also get increased. So now summarizing it, the reduction in dimension creates lesser sub energy levels with increasing its band gap. So when you increasing the band gap, you can achieve a lower wavelength of light rays. So if you take it as a quantum well, it is the band gap is further large, so that visible red has been achieved. If you still reduce it, you can achieve green, as the band gap is large, so you can achieve green color. Still if you reduce the size, so they had also show this picture how the dimension has been reduced so that the band gap has been increased. So still it is reduced further, only 2 to 8 nanometers. We will achieve a quantum dot of this much band gap, which can produce 2.75 electron volt of the band gap, which is blue light. You can achieve a blue light. That's why if you see the LED topic and all, I had already said by 2014 the Japanese had received a Nobel Prize for discovery of blue LED. Actually this has been discovered in 1994 itself, and it takes 10 years to give a Nobel Prize. So 1994 they had achieved this blue LED. So the thing is, when you reducing the dimension of the material, band gap increases and the number of available energy levels will also become discrete and get decreased. So 2 atoms means 2 atoms you are using to make a device, then your energy level will also be only 2, so that in each energy level 2 electron can occupy. So as there is, so now the data transfer has been getting faster, and the number of electron used for the data transfer will also get reduced. Here only 4 electrons, so you are making a device with 2 atoms, means only this many electron can go into it, and you are literally you are controlling the number of electron flow. So this is the aim of reducing the dimension of the size of the material. So to summarize all those points, when you reduce the material size, you are getting a discrete energy level like a quantum dot, like this, and you are increasing the band gap to achieve a different thing. Like you can now achieve a blue laser and blue LED, and even ultraviolet and violet can be achieved with this quantum dot. So this is all about the theoretical part of the quantum dot. In further classes, we will see how this quantum dot is used for making a devices such as single electron transistor and quantum dot laser diode. So that's the next topic. I hope you all understand. This is a little bit bigger topic. So in the next classes, we will see how the devices has been made with this and what is the application of those devices. Thanks for listening.